Longevity is not merely about adding more years to the calendar. It is about enriching those years with vitality, clarity, and independence. Science increasingly shows that the food we consume plays a decisive role in this process. Food is not simply fuel, it acts as architecture, shaping the very foundations of our biology. Each bite carries the power to strengthen or weaken the body, influencing how resilient we remain as we age. At the cellular level, nutrition governs critical processes such as inflammation, oxidative stress, and metabolism. A nutrient-rich diet helps reduce cellular damage, improves energy regulation, and even influences the way genes are expressed, turning protective pathways on and silencing harmful ones. In this sense, food is a form of daily medicine, capable of slowing the aging process and extending not only lifespan, but health span, the years lived with true quality of life. The role of caloric balance. Beyond restriction. When scientists began studying longevity, one of the earliest and most consistent findings was the impact of calorie intake on lifespan. In animals ranging from worms to primates, reducing calories without causing malnutrition extended life and delayed the onset of age-related diseases. This sparked widespread interest in the concept of caloric restriction as a key to longevity. But for humans, the lesson is not about strict starvation or rigid diets. It is about balance and quality. Overeating, especially diets rich in refined sugars and processed fats, accelerates oxidative stress, increases insulin resistance, and promotes chronic inflammation, all of which shorten health span. On the other hand, consistently eating slightly below energy needs while ensuring nutrient density encourages cellular repair processes, improves insulin sensitivity, and reduces metabolic stress. Modern research highlights pathways like autophagy, the body's natural recycling system, which is activated when calorie intake is balanced rather than excessive. This process removes damaged cells and proteins, supporting regeneration and resilience. Fasting or mindful eating patterns, such as intermittent fasting, can also stimulate these pathways when practiced safely. Caloric balance is less about counting every calorie and more about mindful nourishment, choosing whole foods, eating until satisfied but not overfull, and distributing meals evenly throughout the day. When practiced consistently, it aligns energy intake with expenditure, prevents unnecessary weight gain, and fosters metabolic efficiency. Ultimately, the science of caloric balance reminds us that living longer is not about deprivation. It is about making each calorie count, fueling the body with purpose, and creating the conditions for both longevity and vitality. Protein and muscle preservation. Strength is longevity. One of the strongest predictors of healthy aging is not cholesterol levels or even blood pressure. It is muscle mass. Muscles are more than a symbol of strength. They are a reservoir for glucose, a stabilizer for joints, and a safeguard for independence. As people age, they naturally lose muscle through a process called sarcopenia, which can lead to weakness, frailty, and greater risk of falls. Nutrition, particularly adequate protein intake, plays a decisive role in slowing this decline. Protein provides the amino acids necessary for muscle repair and growth. Unlike fat or carbohydrates, protein cannot be stored in large quantities, so a steady intake throughout the day is essential. Research suggests that distributing protein evenly across meals, around 20 to 30 grams per serving, maximizes muscle protein synthesis, the process by which the body builds and maintains lean tissue. Quality also matters. Animal-based proteins such as fish, lean meats, eggs, and dairy offer complete amino acid profiles. Among these, whey protein stands out for its rapid absorption and high leucine content, making it particularly effective in stimulating muscle repair after activity. Plant proteins like beans, lentils, tofu, and quinoa can also be excellent sources when combined to cover all essential amino acids. Beyond preserving muscle, adequate protein intake improves insulin sensitivity and metabolic health, both of which are critical for longevity. Combined with resistance training or simple weight-bearing activities, protein ensures that the body remains not only alive but able to climb stairs, carry groceries, or simply stand tall with stability. In short, protein is not only about building strength for today, it is about safeguarding independence, resilience, and vitality for the years ahead. Healthy fats. Protecting the heart and brain. For many years, dietary fat was unfairly cast as the villain of nutrition, blamed for heart disease and weight gain. But modern science has revealed a more nuanced truth. While certain fats can indeed damage the cardiovascular system, others are indispensable for protecting both the heart and the brain, the two organs most closely tied to longevity. The most celebrated group of healthy fats is the omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish such as salmon, mackerel, and sardines, as well as in flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts. Omega-3s reduce inflammation, lower triglyceride levels, and improve the flexibility of blood vessels, protecting against arrhythmias and arterial plaque buildup. For the brain, they support cognitive function, preserve memory, and may reduce the risk of neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's disease. Another vital category is monounsaturated fats, abundant in olive oil, avocados, and nuts. These fats help reduce LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, while increasing HDL, the good cholesterol that clears arteries. Diets rich in monounsaturated fats, such as the Mediterranean diet, are strongly associated with lower rates of heart disease and longer lifespans. By contrast, excessive saturated fats from fatty meats, butter, and processed dairy, as well as trans fats from fried or packaged foods, stiffen arteries, elevate cholesterol, and increase cardiovascular risk. The goal is not to remove all fat, but to shift the balance toward protective fats that nourish rather than harm. Simple daily choices make the difference. Cooking with olive oil instead of butter, adding avocado to meals, or enjoying a handful of nuts instead of chips. Over time, these swaps strengthen the heart, feed the brain, and provide the foundation for a longer, healthier life. Fiber, phytonutrients in the microbiome, the inner ecosystem. Inside the human body lives a vast hidden world, trillions of bacteria, fungi, and microbes collectively known as the gut microbiome. Far from being passive passengers, these organisms actively shape our health, immunity, and even longevity. What we eat determines which microbes thrive, and in turn, which compounds they produce to either strengthen or weaken our resilience over time. Fiber is the foundation of this ecosystem. Unlike sugars and fats that the body digests directly, fiber reaches the colon largely intact, where it becomes food for beneficial bacteria. As they ferment fiber, these microbes produce short-chain fatty acids such as butyrate, acetate, and propionate. These compounds reduce inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and strengthen the intestinal lining benefits that ripple across the cardiovascular, immune, and nervous systems. Whole grains, beans, lentils, fruits, and vegetables are powerful sources of both soluble and insoluble fiber, creating diversity and balance within the gut. Alongside fiber, phytonutrients, the colorful compounds found in plants, act as natural antioxidants and protectors. Flavonoids in berries, carotenoids in carrots and tomatoes, and sulforaphane in cruciferous vegetables reduce oxidative stress, neutralize free radicals, and support cellular repair. Their effects extend beyond protection. Many phytonutrients also influence gene expression, turning on pathways linked to longevity. Together, fiber and phytonutrients create a thriving microbiome that works like an internal pharmacy, quietly manufacturing compounds that keep the body in balance. A diet rich in plant diversity does more than nourish. It builds an inner ecosystem capable of defending against disease and supporting vitality across decades. Hydration and micronutrients. Small elements, big impact. When people think about longevity, their focus often falls on big dietary patterns, proteins, fats, or calories. Yet sometimes it is the smallest elements that have the greatest influence on health. Water, electrolytes, vitamins, and minerals may seem secondary, but they act as silent regulators of nearly every function that sustains life. Hydration is the simplest yet most overlooked aspect. Adequate water intake supports circulation, nutrient transport, kidney filtration, and even cognitive clarity. As we age, the sensation of thirst diminishes, leaving older adults vulnerable to chronic dehydration, which can cause fatigue, confusion, and stress on the heart. Making hydration intentional through water, herbal teas, or water-rich foods like fruits and vegetables is essential for preserving vitality. Micronutrients also play a decisive role. Vitamin D supports bone density and immunity while regulating inflammation. Calcium and magnesium maintain strong bones and steady heart rhythms. Zinc aids in wound healing and immune resilience, while selenium and vitamin E act as antioxidants that protect cells from oxidative damage. Even trace elements like iodine and iron ensure that metabolism and oxygen transport remain efficient. What makes these nutrients powerful is not only their individual roles, but their interactions. A diet rich in whole foods, leafy greens, nuts, seeds, dairy, fish, and legumes provides the synergy that supplements alone often cannot replicate. While supplementation can fill gaps, particularly for vitamin D and B12, food remains the most reliable source of balance. In longevity, small details matter. By staying hydrated and nourishing the body with essential micronutrients, we secure the fine threads that hold health together, ensuring that life is not only longer, but stronger at every stage. The longevity lifestyle, beyond the plate nutrition, is the cornerstone of healthy aging, but it cannot stand alone. To truly extend not just lifespan, but health span, diet must be paired with movement, rest, and emotional balance. These lifestyle factors amplify the effects of good nutrition, creating a holistic approach to longevity. Physical activity is perhaps the most powerful complement to nutrition. Regular movement strengthens the heart, preserves muscle mass, enhances insulin sensitivity, and keeps bones resilient. Activities like walking, swimming, yoga, or strength training are not just about fitness. They are about maintaining independence, mobility, and confidence as we age. Restorative sleep is another pillar. During deep sleep, the body repairs tissues, regulates hormones, and clears toxins from the brain. Chronic sleep deprivation, in contrast, accelerates inflammation, disrupts metabolism, and increases the risk of heart disease. 7 to 8 hours of consistent quality rest acts as nature's nightly reset button for longevity. Stress management is equally critical. Chronic stress releases hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline, which over time damage blood vessels, weaken immunity, and accelerate aging. Practices like meditation, mindfulness, or simply spending time in nature calm the nervous system and protect long-term health. Finally, social connection plays a surprisingly powerful role. Strong relationships provide emotional support, reduce stress, and even influence biological pathways that extend lifespan. Studies of blue zones regions where people live longest show that community and purpose are as vital as food and exercise. Longevity is not achieved by a single habit, but by weaving nutrition, activity, rest, and connection into daily life. Together, they create a rhythm of resilience that sustains the body and enriches the years ahead. Conclusion: eating for the future self. Longevity is not a matter of chance. It is shaped by the choices we make each day. Food acts as both fuel and architecture, building the foundation for strength, clarity, and resilience. When paired with movement, rest, and purpose, nutrition becomes a tool not just for living longer, but for living better. Every meal is an investment in the future self, a step toward preserving independence and vitality. By eating mindfully today, we secure the gift of more vibrant years tomorrow, years filled with energy, connection, and life fully lived.